Let me ask you a question. You've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Would you judge a presidency based on 1 day or 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
You would judge
a
whole president?
Choice. You gave me a choice.
Yeah, I'm asking. Would you judge a presidency on 1 day in the markets or a 6-week period after having just taken over after a match?
I wouldn't. But if he's someone who said, as soon as I take office, what you're going to see is prices lower and growth, and the economy is going to be great, then you can hold them to the 6 weeks and say, no. That's what's happened is the opposite of what you promised when you're on the campaign trail.
So in 6 months from today, if it looks like we do have an upswing in manufacturing and it looks like the structural changes are benefiting people, will you come back and say, Lord have mercy, it looks like he was right?
I will.
We'll invite both of you.
Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now. That clip you just saw was of Scott Jennings on CNN, once again laying waste to yet another person who cannot seem to understand that what is happening right now on CNN is not the most important thing in the world. And Al Franken had to basically say, well, if things are fine, I'll come back later and I'll say they are. Well, there was a jobs report, and former Alabama Congressman Mo Brooks, I think, had a great response to this in a column for AL.com that he wrote. He talks about how we have to analyze the actual data in the reports and not necessarily just say, well, I don't like the person who this reflects on, so I'm going to interpret it the way I want. He criticizes different media outlets for doing just that while pretending to be straight news. And let's take a look at Mo Brooks' analysis and see what exactly he's saying. He talks about the immediate losses in jobs in the last month, that being bad. He then talks about the number of jobs that have been gained over the last year and how good that is. He talks about the unemployment rate improving month over month, but going up a little over the year, and says that's minor, minuscule stuff, not really that big of a deal. He talks about the labor participation rate, how that has been a problem for quite some time, and how it has fallen and how that is not good. And then he talks about how the average earnings have actually gone up over the last month and how that is good as well. So there's a lot happening here. There's a lot to look at, saying this is bad and looking at one particular metric in order to make your political point. It doesn't really do anything for anyone. You have to look at the broader picture. And his message here is that we should all do that. Now, I'm a commentary guy. I'm giving you my opinion. I respect Mo Brooks an awful lot, so his word means a lot to me. And he is actually right here as well. The data has to be looked at as a whole. You just can't pick certain things and say, well, I agree with this or that. So the doom and gloom on the economy, well, they may be selling it to the American people right now. It's worth noting that it's only been a couple of weeks. It's time for us to chill out a little bit and realize what we're actually looking at. And like Scott Jennings says, in a couple of months, if we're looking at totally different things, is the media going to change their tune? I think we all know the answer to that.
Every year in Alabama, we miss out on between $65 and $90 million in tax revenue by not legalizing sports betting here in our state. Money that can be used to improve our roads and bridges, or elevate our school systems and support our first responders. Contact your legislator to ensure sports betting is legalized in Alabama. Learn more at betonalabama.com.